Hey, Ursula here. Today we're going to take a look at the garden in winter and a few of the things I'm working on right now. A lot of people will take a break, and that's fine too for winter, but I have a lot of work I want to get done, and the weather is cooperating right now, so I've been busy. This is just our white lavender in winter. And you'll notice I left a lot of the plants up because we have a lot of butterflies and we're leaving them some habitat. Okay, so what we're working on this winter, these are called Barberry Bushes. They have a green foliage when clipped, but the newer foliage has red leaves. Our state has recently decided that they're considered invasive, and so we're going to get rid of them, and also we're going to work on improving the soil in here because the soil needs some help. So I had 4 of these guys as part of the overall landscaping. We had 1, 2, you'll notice there's some missing down there. There were 4 total. Okay, so these guys, when you cut them, have a yellow inner lining to their bark, and it makes their roots fairly easy to find in the soil, but they have been here for 28 years, so they're pretty deep. Some of this landscaping was here before we bought the place, and like this guy is big. He's a monster. And so that takes a lot to get that cut out. Typically what I've been doing, I've been wearing heavy duty gloves, and I've still been getting thorns through the gloves. I have welder's gloves, and I'm still getting thorns through them where the stitching is. I've been cutting these guys up and then tossing them in a burn bin, and once they've dried out, then I have a little bonfire, because the thorns I don't want in my compost. I don't need to be pulling things out of my hands when I'm digging in compost with my fingers. So this is what I got done yesterday. I did dump some sawdust and some sand in here. This is almost pure clay. I also took, this is the Autumn Glory sedum here. I just cut that back. There happens to be 2 of them in there. It kind of split, so I need to actually pot one of those up and give it away. But this is such heavy clay that you could make pottery with it. You can't even break this. Once it dries out, you can't break it. Thought about making a pizza oven with it. I still might do that. It might be easier to dig this out and put all fresh dirt in than to try and improve it. Like I said, this has been here about 28 years. My goal is to get this planted with some annuals and some perennials, mostly flowers, meadow flowers. This gets full sun. It faces south, and I'm looking at things like snapdragons and bachelor buttons, zinnias, things like that. The bees love them. They're a great summer flower. I have a tendency to have things like the crocuses and the spring flowers on the bottom, and then put the summer flowers in the middle. And then these guys, these are annuals. The marigolds, I will plant in containers, and then when I'm ready, when the spring plants have died back, then more marigolds will go in. This is Santolina. And hiding back here, if it survives, is Dianthus. So last year we took out, I won't take credit for it, but Chronographia took out the other Barberry bush that was in here, and all that's left is the sedum. I had planted lavender in here, but it died. Planted a couple other perennials in here. They just died. The poppies did not come up. It was sadness. So I think what needs to happen is I need to put down a solid layer of really good topsoil and compost to see if I can improve this before planting. The things that do grow in here are things that I planted in bigger pots and then transplanted into the ground here. And that's the marigolds. And it looks like we also have some asparagus growing in here. And then that tree is another project. Let's take a look what I did today. This is a Japanese maple. This was here when we bought the house, and it's lived a good life. It has had tent caterpillars attack it, and it also suffered very badly when we had 17-year cicadas 18 years ago. Last year they were frozen out here. So that's what I worked on today. I took one branch out. It was about 8 feet long. Started here, went way up. Fortunately, it was laying against these other branches, so all I had to do was cut it and then pull it out of the tree. The next ones I'm going to be working on, let's see if we can't get in here. Once a tree starts to develop shelf fungus, it's done. Anything from this point north is going to be dead. Not really quite sure what kind of fungus this is. Not sure. We get the turkey tail mushrooms on the black walnuts, but I'm not sure what kind this is, so we'll have to watch this. Even after I cut this, I will definitely be allowing these fungi to go to spore. But anyway, that is the project, and you can see the tree bark is split all the way down. I tried to figure out how I would coppice this, and it's already been coppiced once. It's cracked right down to the bottom. So I think what we're going to do is run a nursery and put another big tree in a little further south of this and let it grow. See, this shades the house from the south side, and it does a marvelous job. It doesn't get too tall, so we don't have to worry about leaves in the gutters, but at the same time it gives some nice shade in the summer. So our thoughts are to put another tree in the rhubarb patch right here and allow it to grow, and then as we chop off limbs of the other one, this one will add the shade. And in the meantime, we may have to actually get shade cloth for the blueberries because they can't take full south and west sun all day long. So these guys may have to get a cover. So there you have it. That's what we're doing. Have a good one. Enjoy your winter.